What's up, everybody? I am Bucky Brooks, and this is the Bucky Brooks Show, and I am excited to have the man of many hats, Jonathan Stewart, former NFL running back, host of Bleav in Panthers and Bleav in Oregon. I got a bone to pick because I don't know how you get two shows, but I need to figure that out. But before we do that, let me talk about the sponsor, Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform, number one source for your online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or first-time bettor, Bet Online is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds from everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, Bet Online is your number one sports betting source for the new year. Every touchdown, every three-pointer, hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with the odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. So now, Jonathan, you got to know this. Before we even get to chatting, I spent some time with the Carolina Panthers. I was there right before you got there, and we were one of the few franchises that believed in the running back then.
Mm-hmm.
I was a part of the group. We had Stephen Davis. We then drafted Deshaun Foster. We drafted a first-round pick in D'Angelo Williams. And then you carried the baton and went on. So I had to make sure that you know that I am a running back lover, not a running back hater.
Appreciate that.
And so we can start off on good terms when it comes to
that. Man, I really appreciate that. And that's a good history lesson for all y'all folks out there, because right now what's happening in the world of football, we got people out here making statements. You can win a Super Bowl with a running game. I don't know if we want to jump to it, but man, I'm super excited right now.
I am. Yeah, I know that you're super excited about it because I'm excited about it because I feel like the analytics people really were trying to usher all the running backs out the game when they would talk constantly about, oh, you can get anybody to play running back. You don't need to invest in the position. Why would you put a first round pick in a position that is not a valuable position? Yada, yada, yada. We don't even want to pay running backs. It is just, we can go to anywhere. We're not sponsored, but we can go to a convenience store and we can find a running back and drop him in there, and it doesn't matter. And Saquon Barkley, one of the finalists for the MVP award, maybe the straw that stirs the drink for the Philadelphia Eagles as they are making an appearance in Super Bowl 59. He has some things to say about that after the game, where he talks about, we're trying to show people that you can run the ball to the Super Bowl. So your initial thoughts when you heard Saquon talking about the running game carrying the Eagles to the Super Bowl?
First of all, my man's out there saving people's jobs, saving people's livelihood by carrying this team. And I mean, we watched last year, right? Last year, we saw the Philadelphia Eagles start off hot, and then all of a sudden they just crumble. And I like to say all the time, man, running backs are so even keel. We're so consistent. You know, the good ones are so consistent with their demeanors, you know, and I say that because the running back position, running the ball, is all about rhythm, man. Like, it's all about giving a team some rhythm. And Saquon Barkley has provided that, as far as like the component that matters most when it comes to playing teams that are really good. How do you stay on pace to actually come out on the other side of the on the other side with a win? I mean, you see Patrick Mahomes, when things get hairy, he's running the ball because that's the thing that needs to happen to keep the rhythm going, to keep the chains moving. But for him to, you know, just go out there and basically make that statement, all running backs everywhere, especially the kids in the draft right now, you should be very excited, because right now he's basically making a case that these running backs need to get paid more. That's what I see.
Look, yeah, not only get paid more, but he's making a great play for not only paying them more when you talk about the veterans, because this year we saw him, we saw Derrick Henry, we saw Josh Jacobs, three marquee running backs play a huge role in their teams making the playoffs. Saquon Barkley is the only one of those three to go on to the Super Bowl, but I think the point was made. I think a bigger point that will be made is Saquon Barkley, who is drafted number 2. It was controversial when he was the second overall pick, but David Gettleman, when he made the pick, he talked about the guy at the top of the board that is taken in the top 5. You got to be able to close your eyes and envision him wearing a gold jacket. I think anyone who has watched Saquon this year, you're looking at a guy who certainly has Hall of Fame caliber potential.
Yeah.
the thing that I want to get on you about is because you've been on teams, you've seen it. Saquon Barkley as a workhorse. There was a time where people were saying, "Oh, let's do everything by rotation." But Saquon and Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs were showing that no, a workhorse running back, a true franchise back, can carry it 20 to 25 times. As a former running back, how hard is it to shoulder that kind of load?
Oh, it's hard. It's hard on your body, especially if you're in the wrong environment. You know, I think Saquon Barkley was in the wrong environment throughout his whole career. And so his story's time right quick. My last year playing football, I got released by the Carolina Panthers, and then I went to the New York Football Giants. Dave Gettleman hit me up and said, "Hey, look, do you want to play another season or two?" I was like, "Yeah, it's going to cost you, so let me go ahead and get another check," basically. And so uh, they ended up drafting Saquon Barkley, and obviously, I knew he was a dope player, right? But when I saw him in person, saw this guy in person
Mm-hmm.
in OTAs, I said out the gate, "Oh, if he stays healthy, he's gonna be the best running back ever." Just based off of how he was built, he was my size, doing stuff like Odell Beckham, and he was just a different cat. And so for for him to be able to shoulder the workload, the workhorse mentality, you have to be in the right situation. The Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Football Giants, completely different teams. Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, that right there is a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is a weapon. When you see two guys go down in injuries and basically looking at each other on the sideline, and I'm talking about Dickerson and
And Cam Jurgens,
Jurgens, yeah.
Cam
They're sitting
Jurgens,
there looking on
yeah.
the sideline like, hey, who's more hurt? Basically, you gonna go in or I'm gonna go in. And so now you got two guys, but being able to plug and play, you know how good teams are. Whenever you're able to
Mm-hmm.
plug and play guys in, and the system continues just to go as it's supposed to, that's an organization that understands, the culture, understands what their identity is. So every single person on that team, on that roster, they plug and play and they do their job.
In thinking about plug and play, you wondered in the offseason when Saquon was signed and he was brought over, you wondered how this offense was going to look, right? It had been a bit of a collegiate offense with Jalen Hurts in terms of running design quarterback runs and those things. But what we're seeing is Saquon Barkley has not only enhanced what the Eagles do, like from a ground game perspective, but in the passing game with their RPOs and play action and all this other stuff. It's funny to think about the running back being the driving force of an offense, but here we are in 2025, and Saquon Barkley is the driving force. I thought we were done with that. I thought you guys couldn't do that anymore. I thought running backs couldn't be the best offensive player, but he's done it. How hard is it for the running back to be the straw that stirs the drink offensively?
It's extremely hard because a lot of things have to go right. Um, your defense has to be solid, can't be giving up points, and you got to be able to be a running back that can hit the home run. Saquon Barkley can hit the home run. You saw that game start off, and it was an 18 play drive for the Commanders, and they thought to themselves, "Man, look, we're just gonna get this clock going. We ain't gonna give him the ball." And then Saquon said, "Nah, all I need is one." And then he took it to the house, right? So whenever you get a guy that can take it to the house, whenever you get a guy that is so dedicated, that loves the game of football the way he does, takes care of his body. I mean, he's had the learning stages in his career already where he's had, seasons where he's missed several games because of injury. So he's learned, early on how important it is to maintain your body and basically to change your workflow, to change your off-season habits, to change, your in-season habits. He's got it down pat right now to where he can carry this thing on and really become, in my opinion, like I said, his rookie year, the best running back of all time. Period.
Look, he looks like I got to ask you this because one of those touchdowns he runs is like a duo play, right? They
Hmm.
give it to him, and I think they left Frankie Louvo unblocked in the hole, and Saquon went from the A gap to the edge, and I guess a jump cut.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys practice that or like.
That's an
Look, I know you,
instinct. That's an
Jonathan. Great.
instinct
Like
thing, man.
I,
It's an instinct thing. You know out the gate, pre-snap read, um, who's out there, the corner or the safety that's hanging down, whoever it is. In that case, it was number 0, the rookie. I'll try the rookie. Let me come over here. If you're gonna stop me, you're gonna have to bring all you got. And so the pre-snap read in that situation where it's a duo, basically, you're running duo out of the gun, and Frankie Louvu's there. You give him a little hezzy, and then you just make a beeline jump cut to the pylon right there in the end zone. D'Angelo used to do that all the time, where we'd have a draw play, and he'd just cut it back, and it was almost like just predetermined. And he would just say, "Hey, I'm just going to outrun the guy, that's hanging down." And when you have an athlete, when you have a guy that's special like Saquon Barkley, you can bank your bet right there.
so now that we're on that, because I think so much of this game against the Commanders was the Saquon Barkley show. But when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and you think about what else they were able to accomplish in that game, AJ Brown was able to get loose. We saw Devonta Smith make some plays. We saw Jalen Hurts look really, really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, how good is this offense? I know we talk a lot about Saquon, but how good are they overall? Even though they're a run-first offense, do you think they present some challenges in a one-and-done scenario that Super Bowl 59 is going to be?
I think they are very dangerous because, especially when Jalen Hurts is, I don't know if it's an offensive coordinator thing. I don't know if it's a him thing. Whatever plays that are comfortable for him to throw, whatever receiving options that are out there, combinations, route tree, whatever is more comfortable for him, you got to dial that up, because we saw that in this game. The previous 2 games, we didn't really see it. People were complaining about how many yards passing he was having. But whenever he's able to make some calculated throws downfield, that makes them even more dangerous, because now you're pulling guys out of the box, and now you got Saquon Barkley that's basically saying, "Oh, thanks, I got one less guy to beat." So that to me is very, very dangerous. And then you add the component that I look at that game. AJ Brown is humongous. First of all, when him and Marshawn Lattimore was getting to that little scuffle, I was looking at Marshawn Lattimore, and I had flashbacks of him and Mike Evans.
Yeah.
When he was when
Like
Marshawn was with the Saints. I'm like, man, Marshawn's still getting hemmed up by guys, right?
What are we doing?
Yeah. So whenever you got an offense that is capable of getting underneath people's skins by just doing their job, such as blocking and doing, you know what I'm saying? They do the little things. And that's where, to me, Sirianni, he's doing something right. Because when you see a game like that, it's a playoff game, everything's on the line, home game, a lot of pressure, whatever it is. They did all the little things right. And that's the reason why they won that football game.
Defensively, I got to ask you this, because as a runner or whatever, I'm looking at Jalen Carter ragdolling people. I'm looking at Nolan Smith come off the edges, giving people problems in pass protection. They got a young and hungry defense with a bunch of rookies and newbies in the back end. If you were scouting and preparing for the Philadelphia Eagles defense, what's the first thing that stands out?
You got to block them big over jokers up front. You got to block them up front. And you cannot turn the ball over. You can't turn the ball over. So, you want to say, I mean, they don't need to rush guys. They don't need to blitz guys, because you just have to make sound decisions. You have to make sound decisions. You got to be able to run the ball. Because their front 4, they're just hogs. And when you have guys that can get after the quarterback without sending pressures, that makes it hard on the quarterback. And so if it's hard on the quarterback, you're gonna have to make sure you run the ball. And If we talking Patrick Mahomes, if we talking Kansas City Chiefs, whatever they doing, they've been doing it. So they gonna bless us with a lesson. That's how I feel about watching them, because there's no way that they have the offense that they have this year, and we've watched them. They haven't gone over 30 points at all this season, and then they picked this game to hit 32. They've scored 30 points on the Carolina Panthers and scored 30 points on the Buccaneers. Okay, that's it. Every other game has been 21 to 13, is all this stuff. But for whatever reason, whenever they have to make a play, whoever's wearing a red jersey, they're going to make a play. And Philadelphia, man, they have to bank. I'm more concerned about Philadelphia's defense because, there's a couple throws I think Jaden Daniels didn't have an opportunity to hit because he was getting chased a little bit, right? And so when you have an experienced front, you have an experienced mind back there under the hat, he's going to be able to do certain things that I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles have seen, so it's going to be an interesting game, bro.
It is. So let's go to Kansas City, because I thought what was interesting about Kansas City, we're talking about their offense and the weapons on the outside. I would say the re-emergence of Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting that, they go the year, they can't really get the running game going. They're waiting on Isaiah Pacheco to come back. But when it mattered, the ball was going to Kareem Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy and the vigor that he was playing, because I don't think he has had an opportunity to go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's playing at a different level. What are you seeing from the running back, Kareem Hunt?
Hunger. I mean, you just look at his story, right? You look at, basically the rise, the fall, and basically the comeback story, right? And, him, I loved him at Cleveland, and just the resurgence of him there. And just being able to have that full circle moment to come back to Kansas City, you're definitely playing with a chip on your shoulder. A lot of the things that you've read about, what people say about you and, oh, he's that, he's this. I mean, you're definitely using all of that up, eating it all up for some fuel. And so what Andy Reid does so good is making sure that he finds people that have something to play for. I look at Travis.
Yeah.
I look at even Travis Kelce's story, right? Him in Cincinnati getting kicked off the team, having to have his brother to come in and basically go to bat for him to make sure he gets another shot playing again. These guys have stories, and when you have something that is within you that other people don't, you have an edge naturally. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you can identify it. But more specifically, when you have a coach that can help you identify it. And I'm almost certain that Andy Reid is a type of guy that knows how to get the best out of his players when it comes to that department. And I look at Kareem Hunt, I look at Isaiah Pacheco. These are guys that are showing up when it matters the most. You look at the season that the Kansas City Chiefs have had. Whoever's wearing a red jersey, you've been prepared the best, and you will execute the best because you are wearing a red jersey. And the confidence that some people say confidence is practiced, right? You know what I'm saying? So whatever they're doing at practice, you're able to go to practice and stand next to Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I remember my rookie year, I'm standing on the sideline next to Steve Smith. I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's Steve Smith. That's all the confidence I needed. Not that I made it or anything like that, but it's just more so like, man, they feel like I belong here next to Steve Smith. This is awesome. So
I think it's something that you can relate to. Like, there are a lot of people, maybe even some casuals, that kind of think the Kansas City Chiefs long run is lucky, is fluky. They're kind of getting all the breaks. But when you see a team that has done it the way they've done it, I think it's 17 straight games, 17 straight one-score wins. Uh, Look, this is a team. What are we talking about? Like 4 Super Bowls in uh,
5
5 years
years.
or whatever. Like things that you can't even really
Wrap your head around.
fathom. The fact, yeah, they're trying to do a three-peat. They've gone to the Super Bowl a million different times, and they just have a knack for being able to get there. Look, we played in this league for a long time. You've been on that run. Like, I just wanted the people to understand how hard is it to get to one, let alone 3 straight, let alone 5 out of 6. Like, whatever this thing is that they're working on, talk about how hard it is to just make that one Super Bowl run and then to gear it up to do it back to back to back.
So story time. So the year we went 6-9-1 and made it to the playoffs. Was that right? 6-9-1. Good Lord. But yeah, we made it to the playoffs and we went up there to Seattle and we lost to Seattle. We had a rookie on the sideline. He's like, "Oh man, don't worry about it, OG. We're gonna be back next year." Right? I'm like, man, do you know how hard it is to make the playoffs? I ain't talking about a Super Bowl. I'm talking about the playoffs. There's some people that have gone their whole careers, and I'm talking 10 plus years of playing football and never sniffed, touched the playoffs. And so I looked at him. I was really upset. I ain't gonna say his name, but like I was upset. I'm like, bro, like if that was the mindset that you have, that's definitely a mindset for a lot of these young guys right now on this team, right? And so, but lo and behold, the following year we went 15-1, and we made the Super Bowl. It was fun. It was the best time of my life, but it was hard, right? And then what's really hard about it is going there to win it. When we got there, I'm like, oh man, we're here. Okay, this is supposed to be another game. We're just gonna go out there and do our thing, right? Get up there. It's like climbing a mountain, right? And imagine getting up to the top of the mountain. You're like, oh, plant my flag. Boom, I'm here. And then you realize, nah, buddy, you didn't.
There's another one.
There's another peak. There's the peak up there, like a peak, and you don't have enough tools in your on your book bag to allow you to get there, right? So you came ill-equipped. So that is so hard, man. And when I'm watching the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes doing what they do at the football level, it kind of makes sense sometimes to watch this happen at the NBA level, maybe even in the major leagues. Because like with football, there's so many injuries, there's so much turnover. You talking about and the aging process of the stress that you're putting your body through as far as recovering and all the injuries. Man, like for them to be able to do this and be able to have a chance to have a three-peat, that is impossible. But guess what?
So
they're gonna be able to do the impossible.
So I want to take the next year because like you made it to the Super Bowl. All right. And then how hard was it the next year?
Oh.
Because so the thing, because what we're talking about is Kansas City is doing this 3 years in a row where they've gone to the Super Bowl. So they go all the way to the pinnacle, come back, go all the way to the pinnacle again, and now they're all the way to the edge of the pinnacle, getting to there. How hard was it the next year, even after you lost, but still, like how do you gather yourself and say, hey, we're gonna lock in and we're gonna try and go back again? It didn't work for you guys, but
it was so hard. Because again, there's turnover. And then also too, there's that thought process of, man, we made it to the Super Bowl, but we lost. So we didn't really necessarily have a winning recipe, right? So now as a coaching staff, as you know, the GM and the powers to be, you're trying to scramble and try to find the right solution, right? So now your team's a little different. And so when your team's a little different, you know, it's an uphill battle because you're basically figuring things out again. for the Kansas City Chiefs, I think they've got two things right. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what,
Mm-hmm.
if you have those two intact, they've proven that that's the recipe. Everybody else fall in line. It's not going to be that way for a lot of other teams, but I do know another duo that was operating the same way. Bill Belichick and Tommy
Tom
Boy.
Brady.
Okay? Like you only get those every now and then. And I'm honestly thinking to myself, this might be one of the last to be. Because football is changing so drastically. Everybody wants the instant gratification. I mean, even right now, like the conversation of is Patrick Mahomes going to be the best ever if he wins, a three-peat? I mean, yeah, he could be. Everybody wants to rush things. The thing is, the Kansas City Chiefs, they haven't rushed anything. They've been living this. So their process, Patrick Mahomes' process, he's in it. He's living it. We're sitting here watching it and we just want to rush it, right? And that's how crazy this is because it's never happened. And we all just want to see something great happen that's never happened before.
It is one of the more remarkable things that we've seen, and we'll have more time to kind of unpack this all after it's done. But before I let you go, I got to get your pick. Who are you taking in the Super Bowl? Super Bowl 59, Kansas City Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. We got the running back savior and Saquon Barkley. We got the guy who never loses and Patrick Mahomes. Who we rocking with?
Man, look, Patrick Mahomes, and I called his offense last week, a dollar store version of his offenses in the past. And I apologize, y'all. Because y'all some winners. Y'all are some straight winners. I don't care if you from the dollar store or from Macy's or from wherever the most expensive stores are out there. I don't shop at them. But I'm still going to have to rock with my dog, Philly, Saquon Barkley.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why
Right.
is because when they are able to make sound decisions and take care of the ball, they should not lose. Now, the only thing I'll ask Jalen Hurts to do is to not hold on to the ball. Don't hold on to the ball. Get rid of it. Be decisive. And Kellen Moore, be great, man. Call that same play. Call them same plays, or at least the same rhythm of plays that you called against the Commanders. Do the same thing against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, it should be fascinating to watch. I can't
Who you
wait to
got?
see it. I'm taking Kansas City. Winners win. Like now, you let them in. You let them in the thing. I mean, you let them in the Super Bowl. Now they know how to close it out.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you're going to beat them, you got to beat them before they get there. Now they know they're so experienced.
It's
And
their
you talk
aura.
about
It's they're in their aura.
yeah. You have to beat the mystique. I'm telling you, the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid must have went and snuck in Bill Belichick's closet and tried to figure out how they were winning those things because the Kansas City Chiefs have become the New England Patriots in terms of the way that they play. They just sit there and wait for the other team to implode. They don't do anything spectacular. If you notice, all the loose stuff that they were doing at the beginning of the year when Pat Mahomes was throwing interceptions, right around the middle of the season, he was like, all right, let me get to it. And so he hasn't turned the ball over. Like yesterday was the first time they turned the ball over in like over a month. They don't turn the ball over. Special teams. Everybody goofing off in the special teams meeting, not paying attention. Kansas City Chiefs, 2 weeks in a row. They pop out on kickoffs right out the gate or punt. They changed the game.
Yeah.
So now that they know it's winning time, they have the ability to take it up. And so as the Eagles, even though a bunch of their players are experienced with the Super Bowl, as the Eagles are getting accustomed to the environment that Super Bowl 59 is, Kansas City putting on them old bedroom shoes and like, yeah, we know what this is. Yeah, we know we got media day and all that.
But that can
To
lull you
me,
to sleep though. They can get low to sleep.
You think so?
Yeah, they can get low to
You
sleep
think?
quick. Some of them guys,
Like
some of them guys ain't been there. I must just put it that way. Some of them guys they depended on, they ain't been there. Okay? And all I can say is the Philadelphia Eagles defense, if they do what they're supposed to do, that front, Carter and them, if they bringing it, the Chiefs ain't seen that all year.
See, you're so indoctrinated in all that green. You got the green background.
Yeah,
you got
man.
the Oregon stuff going on. Like you just like green and shit.
Eagles fly.
Just make sure you spell it right. Don't do like the mayor. Don't do like the mayor misspell it. So if you're gonna do it,
EAGLS, is that what they said? Good Lord.
Whatever she said,
It
was all. Oh man, she tore it up. But so man, so on one of your two podcasts, I'm welcome to pay back the favor.
Yeah.
Bleav in Panthers, Bleav in Oregon. I'm sure you probably got another one that you're bubbling up on, the Jonathan Stewart show.
Yeah,
that is
man.
probably on the horizon.
Yeah, the Jstew show.
Things.
Y'all stay alert. I'm gonna try to compile everything.
But look, man. Look, I want you to get all of it. I want you to get all the corners.
Man, I'm learning from the best, man. Bucky, look, Bucky, we was at the I'm sorry I'm going over your time limit. But
no, we're good.
But at the NFL boot camp.
Oh, the network.
Broadcasting
when you came
boot
from
camp
boot camp
last year. I learned a lot, man, because we were sitting there talking and you were just sitting there just like letting us talk. And you're like, what do you think? Like, tell me what you think, right? I was like, I thought I did. But, you know, a year later, I've gotten a lot better at what I've been doing. So, man, everybody out there that's doing this, man, y'all keep hustling, y'all keep bustling, and make sure you stay tuned with guys like Bucky Brooks because they'll get you right.
I love it. I love it. And Jstew is no different than playing ball. All it is reps.
Yeah, man.
It's reps, confidence, and a platform. You have that platform. I love what you guys are doing. The fact that Oregon was rocking and rolling, I could see the fandom coming out. Like you were. I just hope that my Tar Heels will eventually give me something where I can have that fanboy experience where I can kind of lay out, particularly during football season.
Yeah, yeah. We could talk about the running back though one time. Another time. Yeah, I'm sorry he's gone, but I don't know who's gonna replace that. But y'all got some work to do. Billy Belichick.
But look, I love it. You know why I love it? Here's what I love it, because I want those new school players who get NIL money and run around with their fancy whips and getting all the new gear.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to have a little bit of what I had. I want them to have a little ass-cracking training camp where they are sitting in the locker room contemplating their future.
Why am I playing football?
I want them to have some of those moments where they're sitting there saying, do I really want this?
Yeah.
I know they can't really do 2-a-days, but I want them to hear that alarm go off at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And I want them to have to make life decisions.
Yeah, fear.
Man, do I really want to go out here and hit the grass? We got Oklahoma today.
Oh, yeah.
All of that. And you know what? I can't wait. I can't wait to be the old man that goes back to spring ball and watch them clack for 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, put on the pads and let's go to work. So
you don't need no water there, boy.
Because one thing I do know, Belichick ain't changing.
No.
All this stuff that he's doing there with the media,
yeah,
I know behind closed doors when they get to it,
yeah,
oh, they're going to get to
Bill probably in there like, oh, another person. What do I need to, what am I supposed to do? Give me a drug so that way I can feel happy.
It should be fun. This was fun, man.
All right, man.
Let's do it again.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to close it. This is the Bucky Brooks Show. Had Jonathan Stewart on. Make sure you check out his stuff. Bleav in Panthers and Bleav in Oregon. Until next time, I'll see you.